Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. This is Guthrie Chamberlain, and I'm your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 7-day-a-week, 7 Minutes of Wisdom podcast. This is day 336 of our trek, and yesterday we explored how to live an ordinary life in an extraordinary way. Today we will hike a difficult trail, and we will use 8 analogies from hiking and how they apply to our trek of life. Thank you so much for coming along with me on our daily trek through life, where our boots hit the trail with every step. Although some days may be more difficult to navigate, we can use those days to help us to learn to grow in our wisdom, insight, and understanding. While some of our daily treks span multiple days, you can join us at any time and start along with us from that point on. If you would like to listen to any of the past episodes, please go to wisdom-trek.com to listen to them and to read the daily journal, which contains some pictures. You can also subscribe to Wisdom Trek at iTunes, Spreaker, Stitcher, SoundCloud, iHeartRadio, and Google Play so that each day's trek will be downloaded to you automatically. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. Life is full of unexpected twists and turns on our trail, and it's sometimes obscured by obstacles that we did not anticipate. I seem to face this on a weekly basis. So today our trek will cover 8 life lessons hiking tough trails. As one of 10 kids growing up on the farm, my siblings and I would invest many hours exploring the wooded hills, playing in the creek, and fishing at the pond, which were all located in the lower 40 acres. It was part of our life, and it fostered my love for being outdoors in the woods and hiking through God's beautiful creation. With many more years of maturity now on my horizon, hiking has taught me many lessons, both while I am on the trail and their analogies to lessons I have learned through life. Today we want to look at 8 of those lessons. And the first one is to move slowly. Don't rush through or you could get hurt. I have been known as somebody who is a fast walker when I am heading anywhere in life, especially when I have a destination in mind. While hiking, I have come to realize that it is not always wise to rush along the trail, especially the difficult ones. Injuries and nasty bruises will result if the pace is too fast. A wise lesson to learn for life is to take things slowly. This can be especially true when you're going downhill. It's imperative to move at a comfortable pace, making sure that your footing is stable and your body doesn't push itself too hard. When you rush and misstep, those hiking with you may see your body roll down the side of the mountain. It's not worth the injury, so be careful and take every step with care. The second lesson is don't focus on the end destination, enjoy the journey. You might forget that the majority of the hike isn't glamorous at all. Even so, I find that any trail can be interesting to observe and has its own beauty, but usually you can only see a very limited distance in front of you. The pictures of people standing in open landscapes with grand mountains in the background are truly beautiful, but it is a lot of hard work to get there. When you are rushing through the trail in order to get to the checkpoints, you miss out on the majority of the hike. There are many interesting things to look at, and the enjoyment of just conversation with those with you is part of the hike. Lesson number 3. You have no choice but to keep going. If you have ever been on a very long or strenuous hike, there are many times that you feel like you can't go on, or even finish to the next stopping point. When you're halfway up the mountain, you have no choice but to keep moving, unless you're equipped to camp out at any checkpoint. From what I have studied about the hikers on the Appalachian Trail, they need to make a certain amount of mileage each day, or else they'll run into bad weather, especially when they're traveling from south to north, and it can jeopardize their entire journey. Strenuous hiking forces your body to reach its limits that you didn't even know were possible, and that's only because you have few options. Lesson number 4, always know your next step and pay attention. Trail markers keep hikers alert and always aware of where their next steps are. Each trail marker is painted specifically so a hiker can see the next marker. This has them always looking up and planning ahead, seeing which turns to make next. As a hiker, as with life, if you just assume that you are following the obvious path, it's easy to wander off the trail. This could be a very precarious situation if you don't have the proper navigation tools such as a good map or GPS, or for life, a good life plan. When you're on a hike, when you're running out of supplies or daylight or both, it's not a position that you want to be in. So plan ahead and follow your plan. Lesson number 5, hiking relaxes you. Some people will argue that hiking, being such an active hobby, is the complete opposite of relaxing. But personally, I find that there's nothing I like more than retreating into nature during times of turmoil and stress. With hiking, the consistent rhythm of your steps and the silence helps you to quiet your thoughts. There's something special about being out in creation that helps you to clear the stress and clutter from your life. Lesson number 6, it's okay to sweat, it's okay to smell. If you have ever been on a true wilderness hiking or camping, there are no showers in nature, there are no bathrooms either, and you quickly recognize the familiar lingering stench that forms after a couple days in the wild. As a true hiker, you will know your own stench. No one should feel embarrassed about not looking their best or smelling their best when trudging on a difficult hike. It's best to embrace feeling dirty, and it's completely healthy to sweat. That means that your body knows to cool itself down when it is being overworked. It is impossible to look fabulous when you are on an intense hike, and so it is with life. Sometimes you won't look or smell your best, but just keep moving forward. Lesson number 8. Weather is unforgiving. Even on an easy trail, hiking in nature is an arduous process. You're vulnerable to the elements, whether it's baking under the sultry sun, getting drenched in a summer thunderstorm, or freezing in the biting winter. Because the weather is never under any control, you're the one who is forced to adapt. Be prepared, dress in layers, and expect the unexpected. Plan wisely and never allow yourself to be in a situation where the unexpected could mean loss of life or limb. And finally, lesson number 8. Know what's important to bring and what's not. When you are planning on hiking and camping in the wilderness for a few nights, you begin to understand what's necessary for survival and what takes up empty space. The only way to bring anything on a difficult hike is on your back, so bring only what's necessary. Experienced hikers know how to pack for the very basics, such as weather-appropriate clothes, good hiking boots, tents, basic foods, and other necessities. As with life, it's best to pack light and don't become too burdened with things. You can quickly become trapped by what you own in life. Today we learned 8 lessons from hiking difficult trails, which will help us to navigate the tough trails of life. We do need to be prepared, and preparation is an important concept in the Bible, as it is mentioned nearly 200 times. One of those is Proverbs chapter 24, verse 27. Do your planning and prepare your fields before building your house. The tagline for Wisdom Trek is creating a legacy, and this is very important to me. As we are coming up on nearly a year of our daily trek, we will invest a couple of days exploring legacy again, and then we will start in a series about life planning now that we have completed the beta version of your Life Plan Blueprint course. So encourage your family and friends to join us and then come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. That will finish our trek for today. Just as you enjoy these daily doses of wisdom, we ask you to help us to grow Wisdom Trek by sharing it with your family and friends through email, Facebook, Twitter, or in person as you meet with them, and invite them to come along with you each day. The journal for today's trek is available at wisdom-trek.com. Thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, you are my friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. As we take this trek together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and leave a living legacy each day. This is Guthrie Chamberlain reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.